Christine Filardi is back with a passion for pets, right?
Well, no, actually we have our inspiration.
Inspiration, okay.
I know, it's hard to keep track of me. So once again, I'm very happy to have Michelle and Lauren from Wellness Warriors, New York City. Lauren is the media director, and Michelle, you founded Wellness Warriors, right? So
Yes.
we're gonna do some wellness tips. We can all use them. It's the spring. It's a great time to, get back on track. So Michelle, you want to start it off? We're going to talk about wellness and healthy relationships, which we can all use a little bit more of, I'm sure.
Great. So before we jump into the healthy relationships, I just want to talk about the first relationship you really get into is the relationship with yourself.
Right.
So that's a really important,
Absolutely.
really important place. And I'm not going to say that we're experts and we know everything about wellness, but we've gone through some stuff and we have worked with people who have gone through things. I'm a psychotherapist, so I work with people, and Lauren does a lot of work with affordable housing, and so she's aware too.
Okay.
So a couple things that we really want to do is remind ourselves how to be aware of what is going on in our life, to be mindful of our personal experiences. So restoring your awareness to yourself could look a little bit like really first having the relationship with yourself, getting to know who you are as a person and as an adult. The other thing is keeping things simple.
Right.
So whether that means it's with food or working out or, I don't know, your house and clutter, whatever it could be, it's not an all or nothing.
Exactly.
So when you don't really want to get out of bed or you don't want to go for a walk, go and do it. There is actually a phrase that says when you don't want to do something, that's when you're supposed to do it.
That's when you're supposed to do it, absolutely.
So I don't know if anyone's heard that, but that's one that really sticks in my mind.
I also call being conscious. You're saying to have a relationship with yourself, and I always say like to be conscious and to be in a conscious relationship. And just for an example, like today would have been lovely to sit on the couch, but I actually took advantage of the great weather and I actually went out and ran for an entire hour. Shocking. But
I'm not gonna do that.
I made myself do it, and I didn't think about the distance, and I did. I reached my goal, and I turned around, and before I knew it, an hour was under my belt, and I have to tell you, I feel really, really great.
Right.
And it's free. The beautiful beach is right here.
Free. Absolutely. And if you live in New York City or any city, it's free. Just walk on the streets. People watch. There's some really wacky people out there that are fun to watch.
Exactly.
The last thing about wellness with yourself is just doing what makes you happy. So Lauren has a good thing about that with not apologizing for things that you want to do.
Being unapologetic about things you want to do. So if you want to go for a run, you go for a run. If you want to go to the park, you go to the park. If you don't want to do those things and that's not your thing,
I like to call it having boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes, boundaries.
And Lauren, I just want you to add to this, having boundaries, and one of my favorite words in the whole world that took me a very long time to use, the word no. No is a wonderful, I flex my no muscle a lot. So maybe we could just talk a little bit before we close on having boundaries, and really women have a much harder time using the word no. I don't. Come to me for tips, but I think it would help. I think it would help some of us.
Yes.
I think a lot of times we do something because we feel like we should, because everyone else is doing it, or we just feel like that's something that we need to do because someone's our friend. But it is really important to think about how something's going to affect you, and if it's not good for you, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Okay, so really quick, so now that we've got ourselves sort of figured out, maybe some of us take a little longer than others, in terms of healthy relationships, giving people their space. It's okay to have space, knowing who you are and what you need, and nobody keeps score. So when you're fighting, you don't have to keep going.
Advice. How can they find you, Michelle? Excellent segment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do we find Wellness Warriors New York City?
So www.wellnesswarriorsnyc.com. Find us there. We're everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, blog.
Awesome.
Find us.
Thank you. Michelle and Lauren, thank you so much. And that's a wrap. Thanks so much, Howie.
All right. Great job, Christine. Great job. We got about 2 minutes left, right?